Hello and welcome to another episode of SoFly. It is the middle of July here in Canada and actually around the world. Um, my name is Mitch, and of course, this is Aldo.
Yeah, it is the middle of July everywhere. It's not summer everywhere around the world.
No, it is not, but it is summer here and it's hot. How you
It's
holding
hot
up over there?
I'm hot. I'm in your old room with no air conditioning, and I hate it. And I
Didn't
hate
I leave you one?
Yeah, but there's no. Dude, we have one in the bedroom and we have one
Yeah.
in the living room, just like you did.
Just get a nice long tunnel and put it to the. Anyways, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to listen. And if
You know
can
what?
see this
Actually,
on YouTube,
no. You
Yeah.
can't cut me off like you. You sewered me doozling with this apartment, with this
Okay.
beautiful 2-bedroom apartment.
yeah,
with
that's right. Yeah.
parking. in one
Have
of
you
the
looked under
nicest
the
neighborhoods.
floorboards of the office yet? Because there's lots of little love notes for you. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see me shaved. I look like a fresh baby, don't I? I got no beard, and I'm looking weird, but it feels good, especially in this heat wave. Although, how are you, baby?
I'm
It's
hot.
been a while since I've seen you.
No, I'm. I'm okay. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Yeah, I'm doing good. Aldo's just dying. He's just dying.
Guys,
So hang in there.
I'm that stupid cat poster. Just hang in there.
Yeah, but you're doing a fantastic job, and
You don't know that.
it's an inspiration. It really is.
You don't know that.
I'm so pissed. Okay, listen, we got a really epic show for you today because we actually just got off of the phone call with Mr. Captain Jacob Meier. Jacob Meier called in and we chatted about his really epic life traveling the world, fly fishing and guiding, and he's just a very positive energy, a very nice guy, and it was an awesome show. I think it was full of tips and energy and good
much like
little
Jeff
quips.
Fesco, I met him
Yeah.
down in Mag Bay. Unlike
right.
Jeff, I didn't actually get to fish with him, but we were hanging out at night at the lodge and eating tacos and stuff in and around town in Puerto San Carlos. And Jake guides, as you'll learn, everywhere, but he guides a lot in not only Mag Bay, but now he's down in Baja with Jeff and doing the rooster thing and the beach thing, and which is really, really cool because those two guys are insanely dialed anglers, and if you ever fish with them, there's no way you're not going to catch the craziest thing, or at least have the craziest day of your life.
Yeah.
You're going to at least see the craziest things ever. And one day I would love to get on Captain Jake's boat for tarpon, because if you check out his Instagram, there's a lot of tarpon content because he guides at No Name Lodge in Puerto Rico, and he catches a lot of tarpon, and it would be cool to learn tarpon. I love that fish, and I think it would be cool to learn from him.
Dude, absolutely, 100%.
That.
Well, before we get into talking with Jake, community news by Yeti.
Brought to you by Yeti.
Yeti, thank you for sponsoring this portion of the show. And this is the community news. Is there anything going on right now?
Here's the thing, Yeti. There isn't. Not really. There was a river cleanup day with Ontario Streams on July 10th, but of course this comes out July 15th. Just looking at Drift Outfitters website, there doesn't seem to be anything really going on. And of course, summer is the time where everybody's on the water and fishing and stuff. We're not really throwing any events. We never really do during the summer because everyone's summer vacationing. But that being said, keep this. I'll say this. I say it every show, which is if you do have an event, email us info@sofly.ca. And we talk about Ontario because we're from Ontario. I talk about Southern Ontario because I'm based in Toronto. Mitch talks about
Eastern Ontario because I'm based
Eastern Ontario because he's based in Ottawa, and but we're not. That doesn't mean other places in the world, country, continent don't exist. And so if you have an event coming up, please let us know, and we will get the word out as much as we possibly can on our community calendar, because we do that all the time.
Yes,
anything going on in Ottawa there about it, brother?
What for? No. Ottawa Fly Fishing Society. If you're a member, you can keep an eye on your email to go for fishing dates. But other than that, everybody's fishing right now, man. So of course, we'd like to, when we get a second, maybe try to do something as well. We'll definitely have another event this year, I'm hoping.
For sure.
Let's see how things pan out.
ICAST is happening right now globally.
I saw that. Friend Dan is down at ICAST.
Yeah, so that's something.
Well, anyway, if you're around ICAST, go check that out. Maybe, but yeah. Okay, well, why don't we just get into the inn? and then
Yeah,
we
I'm
can
just
talk a
looking
little
at it.
bit
I was
about
just like
fishing after.
maybe looking at the
Jacob.
Atlantic salmon ASF events.
Yeah. Anything?
Just because salmon season's underway, and like we've been seeing a lot of salmon
they're-
getting caught. They're having a
Gaspé
good.
Coastal's
They're
looking like it's a
slaying.
blast. Yeah. Yeah.
When's the?
It's really cool actually seeing like the epic season that's going on out there. Nice to see,
Yeah, no, I'm just looking at the ASF. We got nothing.
You know what? Send us your fishing stories from the summer so far. How you guys doing?
there's the
People catching
Toronto
fish?
there's the Toronto benefactor dinner in October 15th.
Cool. Okay, there you go. October. Yeah.
ASF,
Let's save that for
I know, that's what I mean. Like, there's not a whole lot going on.
Okay, listen. Let's get into the show with Jacob. Captain Jacob Meier. Right after these words. Captain Jacob Meier is a fly fishing guide whose career has taken him to some of the most incredible fisheries in the world. He grew up in Florida, where he spent just about every chance he could fishing the waters of Tampa Bay and the neighborhood ponds. After graduating high school, he served 6 years in the U.S. Army before turning his lifelong passion into a full-time career as a fishing guide. Since then, he's guided anglers across an impressive range of destinations, including the waters around Savannah, Hilton Head, and Beaufort. Spent a season with Big Sky Anglers in West Yellowstone, Montana. Guided Anna Maria Island back in his home state of Florida. Completed 2 guide seasons in Alaska. Worked the marshes of Louisiana, and even guided at No Name Lodge in Puerto Rico. These days, Baja has become one of his favorite places to fish, where he guides throughout the season, while also hosting and leading trips to Trinidad. When he's not working with clients, Jacob is usually off chasing fish somewhere new. His travels have taken him all over the place, including fishing in the jungles in Brazil and Colombia, exploring the jungles and flats of Indonesia, DIY fishing throughout Mexican's Yucatán Peninsula, fishing in Belize with local guides, and discovering countless fisheries throughout Florida and the Everglades. But at the heart of it all, Jacob is someone who loves introducing anglers to new places, sharing what he's learned through the years on the water, and creating experiences that people remember long after the trip is over. Today's first time for Captain Jacob is today on SoFly. Welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me, guys. Yeah, I'm fired up, man. So,
Hell
Dude,
yeah.
you are one heck of a traveled
That's-
guide and angler. My God.
yeah, I try. Yeah, man, it's always fun to go do something new. It keeps it kind of fresh, and yeah, I really enjoy it. As a joke, I always like the Tom Brady quote, like, he's like, "What's your favorite Super Bowl?" And he said, "The next one." For me, it's always like the next trip is my favorite.
I love that.
Next new one, yeah. So,
I love that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well,
also, I want to point out, I'm not comparing myself to Tom Brady. That
well,
was
maybe
sorry.
you should though.
Maybe you should.
Yeah, maybe you should.
Who knows?
We met. Aldo here.
Aldo.
Hi. We met in Mag Bay, which was awesome.
That was awesome, man.
It was. We didn't. Unfortunately, we didn't get to spend a day on the boat together. But we were having beers and tacos and stuff, and we were definitely hooking up on marlin close to each other, but just not on the same boat. So it was it was awesome to meet you down in Mexico, and obviously Jeff Fesco. You guys are good friends, and it's awesome to have you on the show. It's cool to like meet these people when you're abroad and like have this connection and and it's great to talk to you guys. We always say on the show, like, we've done over 200 of these shows, and it'd be awesome if we got to fish with all of our guests one day, but
Yeah, right.
but we've already met in person, which is great. So yeah, it's good to see you again, man.
Yeah, it's good seeing you too, brother. Yeah, the fun thing about this travel, well, the fly fishing world's already small as it is, but once you start getting into the travel, especially the saltwater travel, and then the more not well-known destinations yet, the circle becomes very, very, very small. What's super fun. It's fun to run into people in different places. So.
Why don't we start back at the beginning, Jacob? Like, how did you get into fishing to begin with? Like, what was it like in those early days in Florida?
Yeah, so growing up, my dad took me fishing a lot when I was pretty young, like 5, 6, 7. And he grew up in like Ohio, Wisconsin area, fishing the Great Lakes and stuff. And they ended up moving down to Tampa area when I was about like 9 months old. And he always loved fishing. He ended up meeting a guy in our neighborhood named Steve Matthews. What I can definitely, I don't even know if he knows really what a podcast is, but if he watches this, thank you, Steve, for showing my dad how to fish and then kind of showing me how to fish. It's funny though, I actually did not like fishing between the ages of like 5 to 8 because they would always go out for like all day, like 12, 16 hours. And, growing up, complaining was not allowed at all. Or it just wasn't allowed. I loved hanging out with them, but 12 hours on a boat as a
Long day,
5-year-old.
man.
Yeah, long day. So, and they almost never brought any food. I remember eating like 2-year-old crackers at one point on the boat with them. But I never complained, so they kept bringing me. And then I actually found my love for fishing. My buddy, his name's Garrett Redding in Tampa. He might actually, I'm going to make him watch this just so I could give him a big shout out. He actually kind of brought me bass fishing around the ponds and stuff.
Oh, cool.
And we were away. Both of our dads were kind of intense. They were like our football coaches and stuff. So we were kind of always scared of our dads. But that was like our way to like do it ourselves, away from our
That's cool.
fathers.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I actually really got my love, just riding our bikes around. And when we got cars, it got really dangerous because we could go fish wherever we wanted. And growing up in Florida, then like people didn't care if you, as a kid, if you walked through their yard to go fish.
Totally.
So it was super fun. That was so I guess that's kind of the beginning of my love for fishing, throwing like artificials and stuff for largemouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's how I got into it.
When did fly fishing start? Was it then too? Or?
Yeah. Well, no. It's actually funny. So I actually always thought fly fishing looked cool, like when I was watching videos as a kid and stuff. Yeah. But my dad, in his great glory, and I feel like I'm talking crap at my dad. My dad's awesome. I miss him a lot. I love my dad. But yeah, we were actually very close. But he passed away a couple years ago, so I miss him a lot. But no worries. But he kind of said, no, that's like only in rivers for trout. Classic fisherman thing. So I was like, oh, okay. And then I didn't really learn about saltwater fly fishing. I didn't pick up a fly rod until I was 21. I was already in the Army for a couple of years. Yeah. And the unit I was in, when you're the first couple of years in that unit, you don't have a life like you are a modern day slave's a really hard word, but like they expect everything from you 24/7. So until you get to certain school, it's called Ranger School. So once you graduate Ranger School, you come back to the unit, you actually have like some free time and you get treated like a real human. Yeah. So that was the time I was like, well, I'm going to pick up a hobby, and I always loved fishing. So I started artificial fishing around Savannah, Georgia, and then bingo, just eventually picked up a fly rod, and it took me like a year and a half to catch my first redfish. Trying to go out myself. It was miserable, but it was super fun. Loved it, obviously. And that's how that goes.
So your first fish on the fly was a redfish?
No, my first fish on the fly was like a bluegill or something in a pond. Behind where we worked. We had this like little pond, and I would go on lunch break and just throw that fly rod around, and I think I caught a bluegill or something.
But the redfish kind of clicked as you as like that was a harder thing to do. You had to actually put the time in, figure all the stuff out. Yeah.
Yeah, like I was teaching myself how to. I bought like this really cheap like micro skiff, and I was like teaching myself how to pole and trying to like catch my first redfish on a fly rod, and it was definitely a mess for a while, and then eventually kind of all clicked. And then the guy that really helped me out, who I actually caught, he finally took pity on me. I think his name's Chase Simpson. He guides in Savannah still. It's him, Chad DeBose, and Perry Broussard. What I can thank them a lot. They took me under their wings when I was, a wee little lad. Yeah. That's Tall Tail Charters, I believe, is their thing in Savannah. They're great, but yeah, he took me out and got me caught my first redfish with him on fly. So it was super awesome. Yeah.
So at what point did you think like, hey, I could do this as my main job, my life could be?
Yeah. So I was getting kind of, I don't know if burnt out's the word, but my Army career definitely took I was kind of plateaued in it. It just wasn't really working for me. I was kind of becoming the person I told myself I'd never become, just like this miserable, Army guy. Yeah. And I did love my time in the Army, but like it just got to the point where I was like, maybe I want to try to do something new. And I didn't really have a plan, but I thought it'd be cool to be a fishing guide. Yeah. And long story short, I was like, well, what's the difference between me and other fishing guides? And the answer was they're not in the Army, and they tried. So I was like, let's do it and try it. Yeah. And it's been a really interesting path. I have a lot of people to thank for how fast I was able to do this full time. I've been full time since 2020. But yeah, that's just pretty much I was like, you know what, I'm going to give this a shot. So I got out of the Army and got my captain's license, and just started grinding and traveling and trying to figure out, what to do and how to make a living, how to make an actual living doing it, pay the bills with fishing.
And how did you find like networking? Because you've gone to so many places and you've had all these different jobs. So what was that like making those connections? Like, was it difficult to do or?
It's a little, yeah, I would say it's a little difficult, but I would say, like, for anyone who's watching this who was in my shoes, 6 years ago, with wanting to do this, um, there's a lot of people trying to do it, but I think the biggest thing that, like, tip I'd give is you always show respect and you always listen. you know, just because you caught a few fish doesn't mean you're an expert, and you can always learn something from everybody, and people respect that. They're like, oh man, this guy's actually listening.
Yeah.
You don't ask where they caught fish, but you might ask, like, hey man, like, I was here at this tide. I didn't really. It seemed like it was a little low. Like, do you
Right.
like, and then you also need to remember like, if he likes fishing it at a 1.2 incoming, you better not be fucking anywhere around that spot. Sorry, I just cursed. I don't know if I can do that, but
Oh, of course you
definitely
can.
you better not be fucking. You better not be fucking anywhere around there near that 1.2 incoming, because it only takes one time to piss somebody off, and they're never going to help you ever again. That's just,
for
just
sure.
the fact of it, right? Yeah. So,
Of course.
but as far as networking goes, just showing people respect.
Yeah.
And if you're there every day grinding and they see you out there trying, eventually people are going to start throwing you bones. And when someone throws you a bone, you better take it and run with it. And and I would say that's like the biggest thing as far as networking goes in the community.
That's cool. It seems like a big part of it for sure.
Yeah.
It is interesting, like looking at your and I'd say we've had Jeff Fesco on the show, and you guys are pals. Obviously, we all met in Mag Bay. I don't know if it's because what am I trying to say here? You go to see some guy, maybe you go to Montana, or like up here in Canada, you go to like the Gas Bay, or you go, even I would say guides in Southern Ontario where we live here, some older guides. It's not uncommon for guides to spend, their whole life guiding one river, one region, one area, and then that's like their thing, Obviously, when it comes to the ocean, there's a lot more surface area to play with, but this kind of idea that you and Jeff have lived this kind of nomadic guide life, like, was that a conscious decision, or did you like, were you like, now I get to go to, like, because of your 2 seasons in Alaska, all of a sudden you met the guys at No Name Lodge and they're like, Jake, we think you'd be perfect for this place, and you get to like hop around? Or was that like intentional on your behalf to be like, I want to see the world through working in fly fishing?
So I guess, like, I honestly, if you would have asked me, and even like all the way up to almost 2022, when, like, what I would want, like, I thought I would have told you I would have been guiding in Anna Maria my whole life for the rest of my life.
Okay.
But just like anything, when you're doing 300 days a year somewhere, you get kind of like, I've always told myself, if I was getting burnt out or not having fun, it's time to do something different. I never wanted to be that person who's not having fun in my job anymore.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why I got out of the Army is one of the reasons why I traveled so much. But I guess to answer your question, as far as like the traveling thing goes, the reason why a lot of people don't do it, because it is glorified, right? Like, it's awesome, and I do love it. Before I say what I'm about to say, I love what I do, and I love traveling. I love the grind of trying to figure, like, just like logistics, like finding like a place to live, having a place to live that you might not have a kitchen, and now you have to figure out how to cook with a air fryer. And like, me and my wife lived out of our van for 2.5 years, and that was super fun. But there's a reason. I mean, it's hard too. There's pros and cons to every lifestyle. Like, there's pros of, sometimes I get envious of my buddies who guide in one place all the time, because I'm like, oh man, you have a garage so that you can work on your boat, like your own tools. You get like, you can come home and make food or have an ice maker. Like, I don't, like, one of my goals in life, if I ever get to the point where I can have an ice maker, I'm fired up, dude. Like, I made it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you. Like, I still go to friends' houses with the ice thing in the fridge, and I'm like, damn,
luxury.
What a life.
It's nice, dude. Or like when I'm in Louisiana, the Fournettes, what's a family that's helped me I can't thank them enough. Red Fournette, Brown Fournette, and Mike Fournette. They're like the legends of Venice Marina, Louisiana, the Venice area. They have like a scoop ice maker, and man, that thing's nice, dude.
That's
like,
awesome.
Yeah,
That's
they've
so
let
funny.
me like sleep on their floor and use their shower, and they've kind of mentored me in that area. I also fish tournaments against them. Never beat them ever. Never will. They're like so good. But yeah, like just like little stuff like that, that's kind
But
of.
despite those like luxuries, or even I would say like probably, and I don't know, I don't live this life, but I see Instagram and stuff, like even just basic comfort sometimes. Like you got to work for your day to day, right? Sometimes, and it's like can be uncomfortable, but it's worth it if you got to have something to you that makes you want to do that, right? Because that's like dedication.
Yeah, it's like, are you willing to sleep on someone's floor for 2 months?
Yeah.
Or do you have a friend that will let you sleep on their floor for 2 months? Or it's yeah. And then the other thing too that's really hard is running out of money. What's happened to me and my wife like multiple times, like we're like, oh man,
Of
like
course.
we don't have any cash left, so now we're living off credit cards, and now we have to try to limp it to the next season where we know we always have some kind of like general fixed. It's nothing's ever fixed, but you know what I mean, like sort of like you can rely on certain seasons to kind of get you through. It's really hard to save money doing this.
Yeah.
So
What keeps you going? Like what
people don't think about.
What keeps you going? Like why do you?
What keeps me going?
Yeah, like
Dude, I just really enjoy it. I love showing people areas that they might have never even really thought about going. Like for Brazil, for example, everyone thinks peacock bass in Brazil, but there's actually golden dorado in Brazil. And my buddy Tiago, big shout out to Tiago if he listens to this. He's kind of branching out and doing his own thing a lot like me, and we're both kind of in that same. We've been doing it for a while, but we're both trying to get totally independent and not work for other people anymore. Well, there's nothing wrong with working for other people, but it's nice to have your own thing.
Yeah.
So just like trying to sell that to somebody, it can be difficult sometimes. And like Trinidad, selling Trinidad's kind of tough because no one's really heard about Trinidad, even though to me it's some of the best tarpon fishing I've ever seen in the world.
Yeah. So. That's cool, man. I mean, freelancing really,
it's exactly what it is. Yeah.
And you hear it from everybody that freelances across different industries. It's just, you got to be like, I love what you do in sense of like traveling around and getting to explore and meet people and stuff. Like it's just so much work, and it's really cool.
Yeah. And like one of the things I always tell people, my whole life, I've been told you should have been here 20 years ago. You should have been here 20 years ago.
Totally.
You should have been here 20 years ago. My goal in life is to find the place where I can say to someone else 20 years from now, hey, shit, dude, you should have been here 20 years ago.
That's sick.
Should have been here 20 years ago, yeah.
Have you found that place yet?
I think Mag Bay's that place. I really do. I think Trinidad is definitely that place. We'll just have to, it's going to be a slow grow because there's like logistical, especially with fly fishing, because, fly fishing people, they want their own boat or they want just them and one other person. And unfortunately, there's not that many boats there to run group. And a lot of people like doing group trips. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's hard to find 3 boats for 6 people to go out just because there's not the infrastructure that yet, I guess, if that's
but the fishing is just so amazing there.
It's really good. Yeah. It's not flats fishing. Like I straight up tell people that first thing. It's not flats fishing. You're casting at rolling fish, blitzing fish, bait balls, stuff like that. But these tarpon eat flies. Like they gobble them. They snarf them. They're willing participants in the game that we're trying to play.
I mean, that big water, like searching for schools and boiling fish sounds like it's almost even cooler than flats a little bit. That sounds epic.
It can. Yeah, it can be like there is something about like your knees. Knees weak. Arms are heavy, your cast is shitty already. When they're coming down a sandbar, you got bars, right, dude? Bars. When you see a fish coming down a sandbar and you're like, oh shit, like I better not screw this up. The guy's gonna yell at me.
No.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But I get that fixed for the rooster fishing off the beach here, and it's funny. Like actually, no, I'm not going to say what I was about to say. Sorry, but the rooster fishing off the beach is a lot of people have a negative view of it. Whatever. They don't eat. It's hard. Whatever. I don't know, dude. It's my favorite fishing. Like straight up. Like I love fishing off the beach.
Yeah.
What
about it? What about it makes it your favorite?
I think it's like a perfect mix between like the snook fishing I did in Florida off the beach, like where you see them and like right off the beach, and like migrating tarpon. It's like a good mix of that, and it's also difficult a lot like permit. And like name a place in the world where you can drive a side-by-side up and down the beach freely and not get arrested.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Like reading, 10, 15 years ago, like seeing, was it that for long ago? And I'm trying to remember the magazine, but like seeing those images of guys chasing roosters on ATVs in Baja. I'm like, that is the coolest fucking thing I have ever.
Right? Yeah, dude. It's like your childhood. It's your childhood dream, dude. You don't need a boat. Like you can, run up and down and run a side by side. And dude, it's. I mean, like I said, it's like paradise. I mean, it is paradise. I fucking love it. Yeah, it's great.
Roosters are just so cool too. Oh my god.
Yeah.
What a neat fish.
I mean, it is pretty interesting. Like, going back to just hopping back to Trinidad, our good friend Yilma, who used to co-host the show with us, he's from Trinidad, and him and I fished Tobago before, which is flats fishing.
Right.
But I knew about Trinidad. Like I've heard of tarpon tournaments off of Trinidad, and then it's like, you start thinking like, oh, would I like the open water thing? But then like Mag Bay is open water, and that's a fucking blast. So it's like, if it's anything like that, but sub marlin for a tarpon, like that must be crazy. Like you're just
Another cool thing about Trinidad too, that I love is there's like big schools of like big jacks too. And you can tease them in with a teasing, take the hook off with a topwater plug and tease them in, and they're it's a great fly experience. Like, watching it's just I do the same thing in Louisiana. I throw teasers for jacks that are moving too fast or I can't get the boat in front of them, whatever, right? People love that, and that's like, it's the same. It's just you're not on a flats boat, and I quite haven't heard about it yet. So,
and they're pretty predictable in terms of finding them and that kind of thing. Like if we were like,
the tarpon are, the tarpon are. I would say the jacks are kind of like, it's a little opportunistic, but they're eating the same bait as a tarpon. Like when we have like our live bait clients, they're throwing the bait out at the tarpon rolling. Yeah. All of a sudden, one goes down and rips really fast, but doesn't jump, and you're like, jack. It's big jack too. Cool. Like I can't. I'm not wide enough, but like big jack.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing with my hands.
We're big jack fans. We don't understand why people hate on them.
Dude, they're great. I mean, I think the GT guys are gonna hate me for saying this, but like it's the closest thing you get to a GT not being in the Pacific. Indo, ocean area. So
it's not GT, it's a JC.
Yeah. Well, in Puerto Rico, when we catch we joke. It's like, oh, dude, a Puerto Rican GT, dude, sick.
That's so sick, dude. Okay, you've fished like all kinds of spots, like jungles, flats, marshes, mountain, rivers. You said guided in Alaska. Like you've been all over the place. Mm-hmm. Are there kind of universal lessons you apply when you go to each of these fisheries as you show up as a new guide? Like, what are some of those things you do? Because it could be intimidating, right? Going from like such vastly different fisheries to show up and just be like, now I'm going to guide here. Like, what are some of those kind of practices you put in?
Yeah. Oh, is that a poopy whoopie?
There's a dog.
Yeah,
there's a dog. Can I pet that dog?
Frankie. Little Frankie.
Sorry. I ADD. I got distracted.
No, you're good.
But no. So I always tell the people. That's like people ask me that a lot. Like I always say, fish are fish. There's things that they need to survive. And then the species are species. What I mean by that is like if you study a species enough and you understand kind of the ins and outs of said species, like what kind of fish do they eat? Do they eat up or do they eat down? Where's in that said fish, where's most of his body weight? Is it in his head or is it in his tail or is it's a pretty balanced fish?
That's interesting.
Yeah, and then also like just like classic people don't talk about this enough, and I could people don't talk about this enough, but any fish, right? Unless you could prove me wrong, but any fish, the idea is to get them to see the fly or the lure or whatever, and not see anything that's attached to it.
Yeah.
So in another perfect world, like predators typically like when things run away from them, and not towards them. So if you can remember like those basic rules, that applies to almost every fish.
Yeah.
I mean, again, there's some outliers there.
But then that's most of it, and then you can sort of just pick it apart based on that basic foundational knowledge. That makes sense. I mean,
yeah, and then the other thing too, as far as guiding and finding fish, is understanding how tides work in saltwater.
Yeah,
right.
You always hear guys say, "Oh, I like to hit this at a 0.3 incoming after the new moon in June or whatever." But it takes some. What I like to do personally is I like onyx. It's just an app, And what I do is, especially the first 2 years I ever show up somewhere, I keep really if it's something I'm like, oh my god, like that was cool. I'm pinning it, and I have different colors for different months, so I can quickly look. Oh, that was June, that was February, whatever. And I write down the tide, the moon phase, and just like maybe like a general note, like were they northbound fish, southbound fish, were they all heading east, were they all heading west, were they coming in a certain cut? Every was there a chain of them? Was it just like a random, or was it just because bait was there?
Yeah.
Just so like little stuff like that, I think helps build.
Nothing replaces just like time on the water,
Yeah, well, that helps too, right? Like being on the water every day.
Yeah.
Well, you can be on the water every day. It's just like, what's the old saying? Perfect practice makes perfect, not practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
So, you got to like every day out there, your goal is to get a little better some way, whether it's a different, well, I don't really like using different fly because that's really not like you're not getting better just by changing flies. But, is it a different angle you try to feeding that fish? Is it waiting instead of casting at it right away? Like, or did you wait until you saw the fish do something with its shoulder? Like,
Yep.
You try different stuff and you listen to people.
That's cool, man.
The biggest thing.
It's just crazy to think you're gaining all of this, and I already have gained all of this like global fishing experience. You're like, you're gonna be like the world fishing guide, like you know what I mean? Like fish the earth, like wherever you're at, you're gonna be catching fish. It's cool.
Yeah, I mean it's fun. Like there's definitely guys obviously who do it way better at a higher level than I do, but I mean it's like I said, I don't. I do this for me and I do it for my clients. And as long, dude, we can go, like today, for example, like me and my buddy, we didn't catch anything today, but we had like the best time. Like, that's why I'm such a good mood. Yeah. Like we did see fish, we had shots, but like, dude, just because fishing is supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
And that's what I always have, and there are like long days at the end of seasons or whatever, where you're getting a little cranky as a guide, everyone's been there. If you say you haven't, you're a liar. But, and, it depends on where you're working at, like, just like any place, if you're not happy at home or at work, it's going to reflect into or if you're not happy at home, it's going to reflect into your guiding and work. But, when you're happy and the fish are happy and you're just out there having fun, like good things happen, like take it serious, but not too seriously. Like, and if, everyone messes up too, like I messed up plenty of casts today.
I mean, that's a good attitude to have, especially as a guide, man, because we all know like there's those super hardcore guides out there that I guess the fun for them is like to be so tough and same with their clients, I guess, right? But I'm with you. Like I have more fun when it's just like generally a fun experience,
It's I always like to word it like because I will say, like, some people, when they first meet me and I'm guiding them and I'm all, like, happy-go-lucky, they're like, oh, this dude's not taking it seriously. But it's like, no, I probably take this seriously way more than most do. But I just don't you can take it seriously and also not be mean.
100%. Yeah.
You can use things as teaching moments, not as belittling moments,
Right, yeah. And then, sometimes, like, I mean, it's just like you hanging out with somebody for 8 to 10 hours a day for like 5 days straight. Yeah, you might get into each other's like you kind of like, but you just take a second, drink a Coke Zero and move on. It's cool. And then we're like 5 minutes later, we're joking again, like, oh, dude, remember like 5 minutes ago when you're really mad at me for blowing that shot? But yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, that's pretty funny.
It's such a classic trope though, too, right? The stoic, cold fishing guide that's just like kind of grumpy but like it's like, oh, this guy's got to be good. He's pissed off. Like
yeah. But also too, I feel like that's also like. If you do anything for long enough, you're eventually going to have maybe be a little jaded sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
But proof's in the pudding, though. You're out there every day. You're going to eventually figure it out. So it's all fun.
Hey, could we go back? It's been like it's just nagging in my head. Can we go back to what you said like about 5 minutes ago? But like, I can't remember how you put it exactly. But like the type of fish it is. If it's like, would you say tail weighted or head weight, something like that?
Oh yeah. Well, you pick up a redfish, right? Where's all of its weight?
Its head.
Yeah. And its head, right? Where's his mouth?
And its head.
Underneath.
And its head, right? Yeah, so do you think that fish? Oh no, and the redfish are one of those really cool fish, and that's why they're so cool. Redfish do eat up, right? You've seen them eat poppers. I have a video.
Them like, or you see them like chase shrimp along a grass line.
Yeah,
like,
and I have. Yeah, and I have plenty of videos, like them eating topwater and stuff, and they do come up, and that's why their topwater eats are so cool, because they have to literally pick their head up out of the water to eat said object.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to feed them a fake feather on a hook that you tied with, hair, hair thread, do you think it's going to be easier for them to eat it looking down or looking up?
Well, definitely down.
Definitely down.
Definitely down, right? Yeah. In tarpon, where their mouths are, kind of angled, like their jaw, right, is angled up, and most tarpon eat coming up.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So and then sometimes obviously you dredge them and stuff or throw sinking lines, but but like on a sandbar where there's only 3, 4, 5 feet of water, and they're swimming high, nice, happy, they got that dark back like you're looking for. Do you want to fly that drop? You want to have a really heavy hooked fly that falls, or do you want maybe a little thinner hook diameter, maybe like a smaller hook, and materials that are more buoyant that are on top?
Isn't it funny though? Because I think about this sometimes too, when you just stop and think for a second. You don't go like, what did that person say, or what did I read? You just go like, nah, just think about it for a sec.
Yeah.
The answer's there, if you just take a second and just use your noggin, because you're totally right. I never thought about that with tarpon. I was always just like, rip a streamer, but it didn't occur to me that they're going in 3 feet of water. They're going like this. And those ones in Florida Bay, it was my only tarpon experience so far in my life. They were hitting in like a foot under the surface, max, makes sense, but they're huge fish, they're not eating right on the bottom. That totally makes sense.
Yeah. And with tarpon, you read their body language. If they speed up, you can speed up your fly a little bit. You try to match the speed of the fish, or all that stuff that we all say. But it's also funny too, because migrating tarpon, if they're swimming on when I used to do the tower boat guiding bait stuff, they're swimming on the bottom. Well, they eat dead stuff too. You can throw dead stuff.
Yeah, and they eat crabs and shrimp and stuff too. Yeah,
they eat also tarpon are way more opportunistic, I think, than people give them credit for. They're kind of they eat like a trash can. They eat more than people give them credit for.
But I think as a starting point, it's a good point. The whole idea of the fish. How do they normally behave most times? Because of course, like you're saying, redfish on poppers and all that stuff.
Right.
That's cool.
In this I'm also reminded of something. We recently had a guide on a good friend we made in Gas Bay, Sam Bro, was just about to go spend her first season in Patagonia. She's guided lived across Canada, guided across Canada. Is definitely younger, but definitely, spends a lot of time in the water, accomplished competitive angler, and she was like, we were there in August and we got all excited, and there was a bunch of people at the camp too. And then, she goes off and this one of the clients at the lodge said something funny. She's like, well, I am excited for her, but I certainly wouldn't want to get guided by somebody who's first season, in Patagonia.
Oh, dude, do you
find that when you're as a guide that's because here's the other thing, I've worked as a canoe guide up north in Ontario. You don't fucking live there all year long.
No.
A lot of these places, especially far flung destinations, you probably have employees, but whether it be cooks or guides or whatever, that are only going to be there 1 or 2 seasons, and they're only going to be there a couple weeks of the year, months of the year, whatever. You can't possibly expect people to live there, especially super remote places. So I found that comment, first, irritating, 2, interesting, that from a client's perspective, they're like, what do you mean this person wasn't born in this river,
right.
But it's I don't know. Do you find that that's something you have to fight with certain clients, or a certain fishery? Maybe not clients. Clients, maybe not to pick on the clients, but maybe a certain fishery.
Yeah. Well, so okay, I see both sides of this, right? There are 2 sides of this, and I'm actually going to take the client side to start, because I'm going to finish it strong from the outfitter's perspective. Client side of it, right? You have to think, what's the most, or to me, what's the 3 most valuable things to people? You got family, you have money, and you have free time. Okay? When a person decides to go out with an outfitter, right? They're trusting their 3 most important things in life to that outfitter. they're worried, they're trusting their safety, what it directly affects their family if something happens to them, right? If you flip a boat over and someone drowns, like you just affected a whole family, right? That's real.
Yeah.
2, money. Everybody works or at least most people work very, 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 very hard for their hard-earned, dinero, right? Their cash.
Totally.
They are spending some of these outfitters, a lot of it to go do this.
Yeah.
3, free time. I don't have a lot of free time. I value the crap out of it. Right. If I get to go fishing for an hour or so, that's worth a lot to me, my free time, or I get to spend it with my dog or my wife, whatever. Right. My free time is very important. So you're trusting your 3 most important things you value in your whole life, your whole world, to an outfitter. Now, with that being said, if you're like, oh, of course, everyone wants the most senior guide, right? Just how it is. Like everybody wants your most senior guide. Realistically, not everybody can have the senior guide. You are going to have to go with maybe someone who's only been there for a year or 2. Now, with that being said, you're kind of trusting that outfitter hired somebody who knows what they're doing. And going back to what we were talking about earlier, like fishing is fishing. And also being a professional is being a professional. So if you're confident, you know how fish act and stuff like that, and you prove that you can prove that you're capable in the first 30 minutes of a trip.
Yeah.
And then usually after that, everything changes. And that's been my experience. Like I've ran into that. They're like, oh, how long you been here? And I'm like, oh, 2 weeks. And they're like, what? But then you go out and you're like, oh, like this guy can, and another thing too, I always try to make people have fun. Like even if fishing is fishing, like sometimes it is not good or slow, or maybe because it's your only first, second year, maybe there's like a little slight move that you're going to learn a year from now that you didn't know then. That would make the day, but it didn't end up making the day. But at the end of the day, we're going to get back and be high-fiving and joking and having fun and go drink a beer when we get back and, talk about life, because that's more important than anything, is just communicating and, building relationships with people, in my opinion.
Oh, for sure, man. I'm sure sometimes you just get kind of grumpy people in your boat, right? That are just kind of hard to turn.
Yeah, those people are hard to turn. And, some people you can't turn. Some people are just born grumpy, and that's okay too.
Yeah, totally. Is what it is.
I can't change you, but yeah, it's still fun though. It's always fun.
Oh, for sure, man. Yeah, that would be nerve-wracking though. Like I feel like I know, like for Sam, for example, like getting someone saying that to me, I'd be like, oh man, like here we go, like okay, it's gonna be a fun day.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, okay, sick. You're fun. Yeah,
you're fun.
Yeah.
Like, do you think brown trout in Patagonia are maybe the non-migratory ones? Do you think that's a hard thing to catch? I don't know.
I don't know if it's anything like rainbows in Alaska. Oh, I don't think it is. I think it's a little hard. I think it's a little more technical than that. But it's like as long as you can get the boat from point A to point B safely, you're probably gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Especially if it's championship trout angler. But anyway, whatever. I just thought probably an interesting challenge that you have to face, not only just learning the fishery, but also convincing people that, I like you said, I might not know the secret lagoon that you have to turn. You have to count 3 mangroves and then take a right at, when you're having like this particular shitty day. But fish are we're gonna catch fish.
Yeah. We're gonna go out. We're gonna at least try. We're gonna give it everything we got.
Yeah.
But
I love it.
So,
are you finding right now, right now, I know you're saying earlier, like you're constantly learning and, you're always picking up new things, like as a guide or an angler, what's humbling you right now? Like, is there anything you're up against, you're trying to crack or figure out, or something you're frustrated with, be it a fish species?
For me, it's learning.
Question. Wow, man.
I don't know.
No, that's a good question. No, that's a lovely. I love that. For me, it's learning Spanish.
I love it. That's great.
My wife speaks it really, really well. I am, I'm getting better every day, just like everything else I do in life. But like learning Spanish has been a challenge for me. It's very humbling too, and it's,
that's a great answer.
Yeah, learning Spanish. And then if you want to talk about just fishing stuff, for me, my latest project that I really try to dive into is actually fly tying. It's just tying hollow-bodied bait fish patterns and making them look consistent and the same all the time.
Yeah.
And then it's learning what threads, for certain bucktail, and even just picking out bucktail is like an art form. Like you look at a piece of bucktail. Maybe one bucktail has a really good low section. What you use for it's more sparser. So if you want the bucktail to flare more, it has a really good bottom section for that. But the longer things up top suck. So you need a second piece of bucktail that has a good long top piece for when you want it to lay down more.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool.
I'm glad you brought this up because I was thinking about this interview coming up, and I was thinking about the flies you had in Mag Bay for the marlin, and also muskie is, I'm not gonna say top of mind for us right now, but kind of like where Mitch lives. It's muskie country, baby, in Ontario.
I want to do that so bad.
It's a little hot right now. Water temps are like not really that great for fishing for muskie, but fall is definitely, muskie is on the mind, and like early spring when the season first opens. I'm getting to a point here. We've started getting a lot of us have gotten obsessed with these hollow ties because obviously you're trying to chuck these fucking chickens all day long, and it's like annoying. Like you're usually we're running like 550 grain shooting head, sinking line type things, and 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 casts later, you're like, fuck this. And so then that definitely hollow ties and trying to get that weight and wind resistance down. And I was like, oh shit, I wonder if people start doing this for those marlin flies, because those flies are not small either. And those rods aren't small either. 12, 13, 14 weights, we're using those Leviathan lines too. And it's like, it's maybe you're not casting as much as with muskie when you're spending a 10-hour day of just constantly working weed beds. But I was curious your thoughts on like fly design for marlin, specifically like adapting some of those muskie techniques to those larger marlin flies.
Yeah, I mean, maybe people might hate me for saying this. I think for those marlin, the fly is probably the least important aspect of it.
Yeah.
But with that being said, though, like where I want a fly that people can cast easily. What you're getting, the point you just made, right? So yeah, like I'm trying to figure out ways that the head will still push a lot of water, and you still have that profile that they're looking for, but keep it as castable as possible. And that's even playing with different hook sizes and different hooks too. Because some hooks, the thicker the gauge of the hook, obviously the more it weighs, right? Because there's more material on the hook. But also you can't go too thin because they're freaking marlin, and marlin can bend out a hook. So it's like that. I'm playing with it. We'll see how it goes this year. But and that's the thing too. Like last year, the marlin fly that I really, really liked for certain conditions, is still in my box. But now I got like other stuff. Just by the time we fished with you to like the time at the end of the season, like I changed things, and now I have a new favorite one. And then next year I'm gonna probably have 3 new favorite ones, and it's an evolution that always continues.
Totally. Yeah. By the end of the week, I was like, because we had brought a bunch of tying stuff, I was like, oh, there's a certain like definitely pattern that I was and color I was favoring for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we said, if you have more time, you keep thinking and innovating. And I'm like, fuck, I wish I brought more of that blue or
it's like, I really like the
that's cool.
Electric blue color or whatever.
It's funny because some days they didn't seem to be that picky, and then other days it's like, oh my god, I know they're seeing this.
Yeah, right. Well,
you like drag one right by it's that huge eyeball, and they're just like, nah. And other days are like, that one.
It's so funny.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's like they're picking your fly out of like literally thousands of the real thing.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just like they gotta be. You're not going to convince one of those marlins to just randomly eat your fly when they're free swimming. I can't say you can't, right? It's fishing, and every time I say you can't do something, someone proves me wrong and does it, right? That's just like a classic thing. But like 99% of the time, you're not going to convince a free swimming marlin to eat a fly. That's also one of the reasons why the more traditional way of marlin fishing on the sport fishers, they tease them up with a teaser, and then you switch them, right? Because you need to get that marlin flared. The cool thing about Mag Bay is they get flared on natural bait, and you can cast it or whatever. So I think when there's multiple fish all fired up, colored up, and actively feeding, then that's when you're probably going to hook one. If you can land the fly generally, because you have to get them to switch off of a live bait fish too. So the fly has to be somewhere in that zone for them to come off.
A lot of stuff has to kind of like line up. It seems like
Yeah, it does. It lines up a lot.
Yeah.
There, to be like Aldo knows.
It lines up a lot.
Just because there's so many fish, or
there's just so many fish. There's like hundreds and hundreds. I can't there's nothing will prepare you for how many fish you see.
It's an incredible
just life in general. Like, sure, there's a lot of marlin, but there's a lot of other fucking shit too. There's like thousands of seals.
Dude, I always tell people it's Nat Geo every day you go out. Dude.
It's it absolutely and like
fish.
You see that too, like with the other boats that are there. Like, it's not just anglers. It's like everyone's taking in this crazy spectacle. Like photographers, people who are diving, snorkelers, tourist groups. Like, how could you not? It's the craziest thing to witness. It's a crazy thing. It's a spectacle. It's a huge spectacle. It's wild.
One of my favorite stories from Mag Bay is me and Jeff went out with one of his friends, like just for fun, and I cast into there's like this wall. I mean, I'm over exaggerating because it's in my brain. That's how I see it. But there's just like hundreds of marlin in a line, like Civil War soldiers, like coming at me, right?
Yeah.
And I like throw this really crappy, shitty cast out. And as soon as the fly hits the water, I move it one time. Marlin eats my fly. A marlin eats the fly line. And then one marlin actually comes up and eats my rod tip. Like literally eats the tip and breaks it. And I'm like, thank God it's Jeff's rod, not my rod. I'm kidding. It actually was Jeff's rod.
Take that, Jeff. Sorry, Jeff.
Sorry, Jeff. And he was like, it was cool.
Dude, that's insane.
Yeah, it's like one of my favorite fishing.
So that's partly why you say like the fly doesn't necessarily matter so much.
I think if they're fired up, they're fired up.
Yeah.
If they're giving you that like crazy guy, they're gonna probably
they just want to eat stuff, kill stuff.
Yeah, they just want to kill stuff. They want to murder bait fish.
Yeah, we've definitely had a few shows now since my trip, and it's really hard I was joking around. I'm gonna make a T-shirt that says "Ask me about my marlin trip," and then on the back of the T-shirt, it's just gonna say "Because I'm gonna tell you anyway."
Dude, I feel like, hey, how do you know someone CrossFits? They're gonna tell you,
Yeah, exactly. It's like, how do you know this guy's really into craft beer? Don't worry, he'll let you know.
He'll tell you. He'll tell you all about his IPAs.
Yeah. Okay.
Man, but,
we have.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, it's an incredible, like, Mitch, if you ever get to go.
Yeah. You're watching on YouTube.
Sorry, I let my intrusive thoughts take over there.
Okay, we've got 5 more questions that we ask every guest kind of at the end of each show.
Okay.
So we're going to ask him right now. They're called Mitch's Fishies 5, just kind of generic fishing questions. But here's the first one. If you could fish anywhere in the world right now, assuming it'll be the best fishing you'll ever have, where would you go and why?
I'll be honest with you. Even if it wasn't going to be the best fishing, even if it was a slow day, I'd pick Baja off the beach.
Awesome! I love that because you and oh my god, Jeff are just like so enamored by that place.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he was like Baja, and we're like, okay.
Yeah, like just the other day, like we hooked, we landed a grande on fly.
Yeah.
I hooked a tuna off the beach, and we doubled up on Dorado off the beach.
Off the beach. That's insane.
Yeah. Now that's not normal, right? Like that's an incredible thing we just stumbled upon. I mean, there's a zone that I was in that the tide's been right, and we went there, and it just kind of everything lined up well.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's, I don't know, all from foot. It's just the way I look at it. It's the whole experience. It's not just the fishing. It's it's my childhood dream. I get to drive a cool side by side.
Yeah.
I get to sight fish, and I get to run and play on the beach all day. What's not to like?
That does sound amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. I found a Dorado head perfectly
like
protect it.
intact.
Yeah, and I kept it. Like, it's like my beach booty. Like I brought it back, and
That's
now it's
cool.
sitting outside. Yeah,
That's
it's like
cool.
a full Dorado head, but
Wow,
just
man.
like stuff like that.
Yeah, it's just like it's a trip place, and it's like crazy. You can have those kinds of moments. I mean, that sounds insane.
Yeah, it's just
So cool. Okay, number 2 is if you had to pick a favorite fish, what would it be and why?
oh man, a favorite fish.
Yeah, favorite.
Dude.
Number 1, top of the chain.
Have to do
Can,
it.
can I say the next one?
Yeah, you can start at 2.
What's that?
You say, can you start at 2 and then go to 1?
No,
the
I
next
was saying,
question.
can I say like the next fish? The one I haven't caught
Like
yet.
going back to that Tom Brady quote.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. I mean, you can, but I still want to know what your favorite fish is.
Okay. I would say so like, I'm always okay. That's fair. I always love like the next adventures. I would say that's my favorite. My favorite fish, dude.
We're not ending this podcast until you say. Imagine they're just like so
We're
like
here for like 10
no.
hours.
Yeah.
No. Your Wi-Fi is just toast.
we asked Tom Rosenbauer, and he's like anything but a largemouth. He just hates largemouth bass. I don't know why. What's with that, right? I know.
I would.
I love
that would
RGs.
be,
Who doesn't
that would
love
be one of that. That's one of the fish I'm considering. To say
I'm always
that's my
throwing Tom
favorite.
under the bus on that one, but yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, that's actually I'm considering that as one of my.
He
favorite
hated
fish.
this segment, by the way. He was like, "Why don't you ask people what their worst fly fishing memory is?"
he
We're
did
like,
hate
"Okay."
this segment.
He's,
Yeah.
he really hated these questions.
Okay, all right. To be honest with you, I would say, I think it lines up with what like my favorite fishing destination would be, and I would say it would be. I think it's rooster fish because you can catch them different ways.
Yeah.
My 2 favorite things to do. I love throwing like big plugs on a surf rod, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I can do that for them. I can get my bait casting fly fish or a bait casting spin rod on that too, and I can also sight cast with a fly rod. What's my other favorite thing to do?
Yeah.
So I would say rooster fish off the beach because I can target them anyway. All my favorite ways to target fish.
They're such beautiful fish. I mean, it's
I can also throw like if I catch a ladyfish, I can also put a 8/0 hook in its mouth and throw it out there and let it sit out there for an hour and just watch the rod go absolutely chaos. So I would say that
roosters are cool, man. I love it.
Yeah.
Great answer. Okay, number 3 is what's one of your best fishing memories? If you had to pick one memory that stands above the rest.
One
Could be a bad memory. Tom Rosenbauer.
Yeah, Tom.
Tom.
I would say
It's
this
a bad memory having you on this show. Tom.
Yeah.
Whoa, I'm kidding.
Whoa, drama.
I just-
amongst the
I just-
fishing community.
I just flame
Man.
Rosenbauer.
The headlines are
dude.
going
Oh,
for
man,
this.
dude.
From a 7-year-old interview.
Yeah, Orvis is never talking to you guys ever again after.
No, they hate us now. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would say just because my dad passed away way before he should have, and way before we got to do a lot of stuff we always wanted to do together. I would say just fishing with my dad in general, but specifically like right when he started getting sick, we went out with Steve Matthews again, and we had just a banger redfish day, and that will always be there in my brain just because it was like the last like real fishing day I had with my dad. I would say that's probably my favorite fishing memory. That and then seeing my wife just catch anything. Like like our peacock bass trip was amazing. She got just like watching her kind of like slowly kind of start liking fishing.
Yeah.
I mean, Abby gets pretty fired up on the boat, so it's pretty awesome.
Oh, dude, yeah, Abigail's fired up all the time, dude. Like it's just she's always fired up. That's why I love her so much. But yeah, she's fired up.
Pretty larger than life person too, as well.
Absolutely, yeah. She talks for the both of us. Just kidding, babe. I love you.
I love it. Okay, number 4. We've kind of talked about this already.
Was that a sneaky sushi? Hold on, I'm sorry. Was that a sneaky?
No,
sushi?
I got a little sneaky bowl of shitty ramen.
Sneaky ramen.
Yeah, I was saying sneaky ramen's not as cool as
sneaky
sneaky sushi, but it's still pretty
sneaky
cool.
sushi's good. That's
sneaky
good. I
sushi
like
would have
that.
been way better. Yeah,
Yeah, like dude, or like what if I just like
rolls.
pulled a piece of like sushi, like a little pocket sushi? You know?
That'd be awesome.
Salmon
That'd be
hand
pretty
roll.
rad.
That would be rad.
Why would he have salmon? He's in Baja.
Why would he have sushi in his pocket?
yeah. That's a
Brother, I don't know. He's
back up
catching
to why
tuna off
you
the
guys-
beach. I don't know what the fuck's going on down there, man.
I guess it's got to be something like
I guess
salmon.
a
It's gotta
taco
be.
would make more sense.
Yeah, It's got to be something super random, right?
Yeah.
Okay, number four. Number four. Yes,
Give me
number
your
four.
thoughts. Sorry.
Why do you fly fish? What keeps you going back out there? Like, why do you do it at all?
I mean, this is the truth. I feel like, dude, one, I just really like the challenge of it, and I like, growing up. Like, it's probably one of the reasons why I joined the Army too. For being realistic, is like Lord of the Rings, Pokemon, Star Wars, Star Trek, all those nerd stuff that kids like, right? And that we all enjoy. The basis of all that is to go on an adventure.
Mm-hmm.
And I love going on adventures, and even if it's a baby adventure, like just me walking outside to go down to the beach for an hour, like that's still an adventure technically.
Yeah.
Some adventures are bigger than others, like traveling 5 days to get to Indonesia on a remote atoll to fish.
Oh man, I didn't even talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah, but dude, I think it's because every time I go out, there's something new, and it's always an adventure, and it's just a lot of fun. Like I love. You just never know. You have a lot of shitty days too, but you're in the back of your mind. I've been 10 days without like having a good day. Like it's coming. It's this next moon, whatever. Like something's gonna change.
Yeah.
And it's fun, dude. Like
yeah,
gotta catch them all, Pokemon. You know what I mean, or whatever.
Yeah.
Or I gotta bring the ring. I gotta bring the ring to Mordor to like throw in the volcano to like
totally
save the world.
It's cool. Fly fishing can do that. It can be it's totally a vessel for adventure, which is awesome.
Yeah, I'd say that's why. So every day is a new adventure.
Totally makes sense. Okay, number 5, the last Mitch Fish 5 is, if you were a fly pattern, what would you be? What fly pattern best represents you, and why?
What fly pattern best represents me?
Yeah, like not what's your favorite fly. It's like if you took on the form of a fly, like Mitch's Pitch Creek. Oh, what?
It was Kayla's actually.
Does it have to be Chloe's, a fly, or can it be a lure?
I think Kayla said it too. She said thin mint. It can be a. It could be a. I want both fly and lure.
Ooh,
okay, so for lure, I would say I'm either like a whopper plopper or like a hollow bodied frog.
I like it.
Yeah,
whopper plopper.
One, because I'm kind of shaped like it, like I'm kind of round, but also, I just really like. I don't know. Those are just cool, In my brain, they're cool, and in my brain, I'm cool. So, like, it lines up.
Hell yeah.
That's probably weird. I shouldn't do that. That looks like
they are fucking cool.
It lines up,
Yeah. So, a fly. What would you pick if you had to pick a fly?
A fly. If I was a fly.
You can't say woolly bugger. That's the only rule.
Yeah. You can make up the pattern. I mean,
and also Clouser
something like this, something like that.
Kind of lame too. So
you know what? I think I'm. If I does that okay? I'm the fly that someone just makes up in their basement one night because they have an idea.
Yeah, just like a random sort of stuff on it that no one's ever seen.
Like you're I'm the free ball fly that you maybe have one too many beers or monsters, and you're just like, I'm gonna create this crazy fucking thing on this fly, And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, just
Fueled
like
by monsters.
Just jacked on monsters type.
Yeah, dude, just fired up on monsters, like way too many white monsters,
I love it, man. I love it.
Yeah, guide speed. But yeah,
we'll go for that. I like that answer.
Yeah, that's what I would say that. I would go with that one.
Well, one day you'll have to tie up that fly, and we'll take a photo of it and put it in a book or
catch
something. Catch a muskie with it, yeah, exactly.
Dude, that's pretty much my whole fly box. Like, that's the one, I would say my biggest weakness as a fly tyer is I can't tie, like, it's like hard for me to tie the same thing multiple times, even though I know I should. I just get distracted.
All the monster energies, I love it.
Yeah, Papa Zen, lock in a couple monsters, like you're good to go.
Papa Zen and lock in.
Yeah, man, Papa Zen, lock in, baby. Let's go.
Mitch is trying to get me on the Zens.
Man,
Don't do it.
You gotta try it, baby.
Don't start.
We did like a remote lodge trip, and for whatever reason I just didn't buy a pack of cigarettes. I usually buy a pack of cigarettes for a fishing trip, I don't know if I'm supposed to. I'm not endorsing cigarettes, but you know what? Like, I smoke cigarettes. Like, people should know that about me.
Let's back it up.
I smoke.
Dude. Cigarettes with the boys on a fishing trip, like nothing's better.
Those don't count, right? We've seen.
Yeah,
the
I
memes.
rip darts.
There you go.
Darts.
But
One
you
of
know
my
what I mean?
favorite
You know,
photos.
everyone's trying to be so manicured online, and it's like, nah, I smoke. I smoke.
Yeah, well, my
Sun trips
favorite photo.
occasionally.
I wish I could pull up this photo, but it was the first time I ever hung out with Jeff in Baja. I was ripping 2 darts at the same time out of my mouth, double light, dude, like this.
Reeling in a rooster. Yeah.
No, I was. Well, unfortunately, I did not reel. I was not reeling in a fish because I did not fish well that trip. If we're being 100% honest, I got a couple, but I did not fish well. But yeah, that's one of the reasons why I did 2 cigarettes because if I do 2 cigarettes, I'll fish better.
Here's Mitch's Fishies 5.
man.
Here's all the smoky 5. Best 5 cigarettes on earth. 1, you're smoking a cigarette while you're ripping a tiller first thing in the morning, Northern Ontario. No problem. It's a 9.9. It's a 2-stroke, and you're going fishing. It's like you got a coffee at 7 in the morning. And it's so unhealthy. And you're one hand's on the tiller, the other one's on a dart. Life is friggin' good. Number 4, you're walking a bonefish flat, looking for tails. Sun is low, kind of like 4 o'clock. You're looking for tails. You got the rod underneath your arm. You've been fishing all day, so you're kind of groggy and you're kind of tired, but you're still like locked in.
Yeah, you're still fired up. Yeah.
And you're just like, there's very little wind. You're smoking a dart, looking for tails. That's number 4. Number 3 was when Mitch and I fished Florida Bay. After that, going to a patio, slamming burgers, drinking daiquiris, and smoking cigarettes.
Great joy.
2. Number 2. I'm going through all my favorite cigarettes. Number 2. No particular order. These can, whatever. Number 2.
Sure.
Ice fishing, smoking. Like
hand in hand, man. I've never done it, but I would imagine it's hand
you
in hand.
cannot
ice fishing's fun.
Hand in hand.
possibly ice fish without a cigarette.
Ice fishing's fun.
And then number 1.
Hey, what's your number 1?
Sitting on the bank of the river, waiting for the hatch and trying to spot risers instead of just annihilating a pool with a streamer and just smoking a cigarette with your buddy. And at the end of the day.
I have one. I have an add-on for that. Yeah. One of my favorite cigarette smoking stories is smoking cigarettes with the boys in Syria was always fun.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was cool because we all dipped. This was before Zen, so we all did chewing tobacco a lot, right?
Right.
But it's so dry there. It's so like you put a dip in and you're immediately dehydrated and you're like, this is terrible. I hate this. So we all started smoking cigarettes like the old days. And it was awesome. Just Marlboro Reds, dude, just going down the hatch.
Well, I guess the question now is if you were a cigarette, what would you be?
A Marlboro Red.
Oh, Marlboro Gold, for sure.
I'm a red guy. Marlboro Red. The long ones
specifically,
too, you know what I mean?
Well, I don't know. So the other thing is like I'm super Italian sometimes, and like a menthol is just like it's in my.
There
blood.
you go.
Yeah, old menthol, yeah, like that.
Man, we are getting flagged. We are getting listeners dropping off. There's nobody. Don't smoke.
Or
yeah.
We're getting the cigarette community. I don't know. I don't know.
We're the cigarette community.
All of a sudden, there's like a ping in our inbox. Can we sponsor your podcast?
That would be one heck of a play.
It's just Camel.
Good Lord.
Yeah, Camel cigarettes.
Oh man.
Yeah, brother.
How much money you got? Yeah.
The cream.
A lot. They have a lot of money, by the way. Cigarettes has a lot of money. Oh, anyway, Jake. Funny way to end it, but it's so great to meet you and Abby as well. So please say hi to her for me. And we've got to come down to Baja because you and Jeff have really like fired us up about it.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And I know you're saying there was like an outside chance you were actually going to spend the season at Gaspé Coastal, which would have been hilarious. But yeah, like what was I going to say? Yeah, we got to come find you guys down in Mexico one day because it would be super fun to spend.
Yeah, man, we got to rip cigs on the beach, dude. I mean, that's the only way to finish this properly.
Yeah. Right, the ATV needs to enter the list. At this point of the show, where can people find you? How can people contact you, book you? Where that whole thing? Where's the best place to like?
So maybe this is I don't actually have a website or anything. I've always been word of mouth. So I guess my like phone number, I don't know if I should just say my phone number on here or not.
It's on your Instagram contact information.
Yeah. I would say, honestly, if you don't like know me and don't have my cell number, if you just find me on Instagram and message me, that would be awesome. And I will definitely message you back and we can have a nice conversation about not smoking cigarettes and fishing for fish.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll put your handle in the show notes too. But
yeah.
But yeah, everybody check him out on Instagram, Jacob Meier, and thanks again for coming on, man. Really appreciate
it's
it.
Yeah,
awesome.
the
Yeah, we
hour
didn't
went
get to
by
talk
fast.
about
I feel like we didn't even get into too many cool fishing adventure stories, but I love
Well,
it.
the
Though.
thing
That went
is,
by
we can
super
always have you
fast.
back on the. We
Can
got to
always
have
have you
Jeff
back on,
back on the
baby.
show too. So maybe
Yeah.
the best thing to do is we do find you in Mexico and we all do a show together on the beach or something.
That'd be cool.
OMG, that'd be. I mean, dude, I'm fired up right now.
Our
That'd be pretty cool.
our own location shows are always pretty fun. So
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
because like the trip's fresh in your head, you know.
Boom.
Yeah, it's right there in the noggin, dude. You
Right
know what
there,
I mean?
baby.
Right there.
Exactly.
Jacob, thank you so
Yeah.
much for coming on, man. And
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we appreciate it. And have a great rest of your day, eh?
You too, eh?
Thanks, baby.
You too, eh? All right, guys, I'll see you.
What a fella, eh? Such a positive energy.
Yeah, he's just like if you get to spend a day with him, he's just a lot of good
Dude, you must
energy.
Yeah.
And he's got a lot of cool ideas when it comes to fly. I know, like he mentioned, he's like, "Oh, I can't believe the hour," because it really did fly by. Talking about traveling and what it's the challenges of being a nomadic guide, which I think is a cool topic. But there's just so much to talk.
Yeah.
We could be speaking to Jacob about that. We should probably, like I said, seek him and Jeff out and like get into a few more things because
We didn't even get to talk about Indonesia.
No, I know.
But, next time, because that sounds really cool.
Yeah.
How's
Or
it going
Puerto
with you?
Rico, because we haven't really talked about that either.
I know. Well, you know what? I'm wondering right now, how the heck are you doing? You going fishing anytime soon? You were out with Matt Martin the other day and the Squirmy Wormy Time Derby winner.
We took Chris out, the Squirmy Wormy 2026 Derby winner, for a day of bass fishing. Wanted to go bass fishing, just like Tim did.
And how was it?
Up until lunchtime, like noon, it was lights out, man. It was awesome. Conditions were awesome.
Oh yeah,
We had no wind in the morning, so we got to like boat out to because Georgia Bay can get pretty choppy.
Yeah,
and even in Matt's fucking awesome Starcraft, and we what am I trying to say? We got to fish some cool spots that I haven't seen yet, with Matt.
Mm-hmm.
And just some areas that just the water is just the coolest color in Georgian Bay sometimes, that insane sky blue, and you're just like, oh my god, this is just so beautiful,
Yeah.
But it was a fun day. We caught a bunch of fish in the morning, and the afternoon was a bit of a grind, but that's okay.
Yeah.
We had a lot of really good snacks.
Ooh.
Matt's always such a pleasure to be around. Chris was, awesome, super fun to fish with. He comes to all of our events and, fishes a ton.
That's great. Yeah.
And, Chris had just come back from the Gas Bay, actually. And he hooked and unfortunately lost 3 salmon.
Yeah. Whoa, really?
Yeah, I knew you weren't listening.
I
3
wasn't.
salmon, Mitch. Like I could see your face.
Jake's texted me. Jake's texted me.
just
He's
like-
like, oh, it's not upload, blah, blah, blah. Oh, God, here we go.
Oh, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I caught 3, went to Gas Bay, caught 3 salmon, which was pretty amazing. How are you? You've been fishing
Yeah.
a lot.
I have been. I've been fishing a lot of bass. I've been catching a couple little pike here and there while fishing bass, not trying to catch pike. And they just kind of go launching, the little missiles, as you used to call them, just go launching out of the water. But yeah, I've been fishing just around the Ottawa area for largemouth and smallmouth and having a ball. I've been catching a lot of little fish, but I think I'm going to lock it. And it's a specialty. I'm going to lock it and try to go find myself some big boys.
That's not true. It's like Yilma's. That's not true
Of course.
at all.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
What do you mean? What?
Yilma always caught small fish. You've always caught big fish.
Well, I know. It's just
You're a big fish kind of guy. The first pike in Outawapscat, the Jack and Belize.
Thank you.
Come on, man. You're a big fish kind of guy.
Well, this is the kind of energy I
The
need.
fucking
because I've
dude,
been catching a lot of dinks.
Dude, last summer with Brian Still, the muskie, and like
was an awesome
probably
trip.
your PB pike.
Definitely, I think. Yeah, it was pretty big fish. It was heavy. It was fat.
It was a humongous fish.
I love catching big fish.
Like
but that's
maybe
what I
just
mean.
as long as some of those Outawapscat fish, but definitely fatter.
It was for sure heavy. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was awesome. That was a great trip, man. Yeah, no, I'm just having fun. Like it's nice to get out on the water and just go just
Are
be
you
warm,
thinking-
watery, you know, wet wade and like throw,
Yeah.
you know, bass flies and not really care too much about what's happening. And you're just having fun. And it's, you know what I mean? Like you're not like pressed about seeing rises or like, did I make the hatch? You know, like you're just there enjoying the sun, swimming a little. It's sick.
Yeah, that's the good thing. Like we were talking about this the other day, Matt and Chris and I, and we were like, you know, the prerequisite for bass fishing is fun. Like you cannot. We're not trying to win Bass Masters here. You know, like you cannot put a big pressure on a day of bass fishing.
You go out, like we were saying, put in 4 hours and then go get a cheeseburger, you know, like don't die. You know what I mean? Like go have fun. And then it's exactly what it is. It is fun. But you know, sometimes it can be fun to go out and grind for whatever fish, but
yeah,
it's just
I don't
nice.
think
You don't
need
have
to
to
be
for bass.
I don't think you need to be grinding for bass. I'm just
You don't
going to
have
put it
to.
out there.
You don't have to.
And maybe we live in a bass rich environment, but like
We definitely do.
which we definitely do.
Mhm.
But like, you know, it's meant to be fun. Like I think anyway, like, you know, like you said, like if you're spending a couple hours on the river, go to the drive-thru and get yourself a milkshake.
Yeah.
If you're like we did with Brian, if you're hanging out, anchor the boat and go swimming.
Yeah.
Like
exactly. Yeah.
You don't need to be fishing like the middle of the day.
That's our hot take.
That's our hearts. Like,
but I know there's lots of anglers listening to this that are shaking their heads right now.
They're just like, these guys aren't spending 12 hours ripping baits for smallmouth.
We like to do what we like to do.
Sorry, guys. The fish of your life is not going to be a smallmouth.
I'd like to go muskie fishing, but the rivers around here are pretty toasty, brother. Reports are,
well, you know,
in the 80 region.
That's what the fall. That's what the fall's for. But it's a good point. You know. Hot water temperatures don't just apply to trout.
Yeah.
And you know, you should definitely, you know, muskie, especially the big ones.
Mm-hmm.
All muskie.
Yes, no, for sure. Don't go fishing for muskie when it's too hot, like trout. Like just let them rest. You know, go fish for bass. Like we were just saying. That
water's in fucking 80 degrees. Like, oh my god,
dude, it's crazy, man.
All of a sudden, that milkshake is tasting pretty good.
Yeah, you know, it's not
a blizzard,
degrees.
Brother.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Here's what you do. You go get a blizzard and you sign the first petition you can find against a data center.
Yeah, exactly.
If you want that water,
of which they're popping up. Of which they're popping up. I know.
Yeah.
And there was talk of one of them coming to Ottawa. I'm like, what the hell? Anyways. Yeah.
Well, that's cool. So are you like thinking of getting your musky stuff? I guess it is just July, so.
Yeah, I mean,
are you trying anything new for Bath? Cool patterns? You're just slamming poppers as per usual.
Actually, the popper game has been really fun, but I haven't been experimenting. I've been really trying to nail one on a mouse, but every time I put on, like, I have this really fluffy, big, stupid mouse pattern in my box, like one fly, and it's just this giant mouse. It's huge. Often it floats on its back because it's just not weighted properly. And I'm like, I got to catch a fish on this. But I'll cast it maybe 5 times. I'm like, what am I doing, man? And I put a clouser on, I catch a bass. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I want to make that happen. And I totally can this summer. And I probably will early morning or something like that when the smallies are in shallow. But no, man, the popper game's been awesome, actually, up in at
really?
Steph's Cottage. Up at Steph's Cottage. And they're all big smallmouth there. All of them are sick. And they smoke poppers, and it's fucking awesome. That is a place that I know that it exists, that when I go fishing there, I know what I'm in for. And it's nice bass consistently, and it's on top water, on it's actually most effective on poppers because you can just cover the shoreline, cast it into spots that are like, that's sick, bassy looking little spot behind a piece of tree and a log, and it just lands, immediate smokage. You're like, fuck. And it's like every maybe 20 minutes, you know, you have that. Yeah. And then you could, of course, go and just like drift around with clousers and cast and retrieve and stuff. But the popper is the most fun thing. And you, like I said, it's just cover water and you'll find that fish that wants to take it. So it's been awesome doing that. I'm going to do that this weekend.
I'm stoked for you, man, because, you know, usually I'm the one doing all the fishing and you're the one doing all the working.
You're the one working now. You're a working
so
man.
It's good that
constantly working.
I'm Jason Statham. I'm a working man.
I know, you're swamp, baby. And,
he's the working man. As if they made a movie
called The Working Man.
Who am I?
Jason Statham goes to work.
I'm the working man. Like, what? They're just like, and then there's the one where he's the beekeeper.
Yeah.
It's just the same movie, just kicking ass in different vocations.
What more could you want, baby? Anyway,
real.
it's summer's in full swing, and
Who am I? The brewer. And he just drowns
brewer.
people in beer.
Makes a different type of lager. Drowns
Kills
somebody.
people with it.
More hops in this one. I
gotta find this one to be a little bitter.
What?
I don't know what that means.
That's awesome.
Well, that's good. No, I'm happy for you, man. Because you
Yeah.
know, a lot of summers you spent grinding. And
We got to get out there.
I'm fishing, Mitch, and you're like, what's that like? And now I'm like, what's that like?
What is your summer looking like, though? Are you going to be able to get
Terrible.
You and Nick are doing a whitewater paddle course, no, aren't you?
Yeah, in a month.
That'd be fun. And that's up where? It's outside Ottawa, right?
Yeah, in the Madawaska.
On the Madawaska. Smashing Basil. Okay, well, that'll be fun.
Yep.
But we got to go out fishing together, like just for funsies sometime. I mean, listen, I know when you get a second, you just know where I am. Okay, baby?
I want to. Don't.
I know you do. I know you do. Hang in there.
fact, you could say I would want nothing more in life.
I know.
You could say I don't know why I did this to myself.
Just think, a few years.
I could keep thinking, when the last time I quit restaurants, met you, started SoFly. Literally for 10 years have been doing nothing but fishing. Yeah. I've been working, but
of course,
not really. Like if we really think about it, like
I know, not like what you got going on now. So
no, definitely not like what's going on now. But anyway, you know what I am excited for? Like if we're talking about fishy and restaurant stuff, is we actually get to host a lot of our friends now.
Yeah, that's
which is cool.
I see Affinity's
part of that is Affinity Fish is coming to pop up and cook fish.
John and Matt and John
on our patio. So like that's a cool feeling. You're like,
oh, that's sick, dude.
You get to like show off your friends.
Yeah.
A place to show off your friends, which is really cool because they're super talented.
Absolutely. And talk about...
So if anybody's listening to this, actually...
Talk about someone catching fish. Dirty Laundry. What's the address?
1186 Queen Street West in Toronto. Affinity Fish is going to be grilling up some wicked Ontario fish that they get from their Indigenous suppliers. But also, they're making grilled tuna sandwiches from... the albacore tuna that they get from BC from those Indigenous fishing operations.
That sounds delicious.
Oh, it's going to be lit. Yeah, so they're doing like yakitori skewers of fish on the charcoal barbie. And then they're doing a fish Sammy in somehow. I think they're bringing a fryer.
Dude, that's sick. July 19th.
Which I'm like, if you want to fry and use a fryer in 40-degree heat on the patio, go for it, brother.
Those guys are crazy, man. They'll do whatever. They're hardcore. And they'll smile while they're doing it, too.
They're going to die out there.
Don't kill John and Matt. My God. July 19th at the Dirty Laundry. You can go and check that out, Affinity Fish. Go.
Yeah, come by. We'll all talk. Literally all of us will talk to you about fly fishing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Love that, man.
Me, Matt, and John. I'm going to be there slinging drinks.
Yeah.
They'll be there slinging food. And if you want to talk fly fishing, we can.
That's fun, man. Okay, well, I guess that's the best place to leave the show for today. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you, Jake, for coming on the show. And we'll see you at the Dirty Laundry on Sunday. Hey, how about that for a plug for you? We love you.
We love you.